Well, hello, Mary. How are you? Welcome, Susan. Hello. How's it going? Everybody doing okay? Don't get dizzy. I'm going to move the camera a little. You can see the floor and my pink fingers. All right. I have to tell you, my table is kind of a mess. So I'm channeling Tina Wakely and just kind of pushing everything to the other side of the table. I was just working on this little pink deer so I can do an ornament for my newest cousin, baby Sloan. Hello, Janice. Hey, Maureen. Hello, hello, Marilyn. How is everybody doing? Sheesh. I have the camera up really high because I am going to use the Splat Box today. We are going to, hey Renee, we are going to talk about, Marianne, hello. We are going to talk about the bottle brush, sisal, whatever you want to call these trees. They are sisal trees, but they're also called bottle brush trees. Tim Holtz calls them woodland trees. They're natural fiber trees, at least the ones that Ideology makes for Tim Holtz. And I am going to, since it's the holidays and people are working on tiny houses and Christmas villages and all that jazz, I thought we would just go over altering our trees, making them whatever color we want, adding glitter to look like snow. So this is just a sample. The glue is almost dry, but this is a tree that I sprayed, and I believe this might be, I can't tell you what color this was. It might have been one of the mica sprays because it's got a bit of a shimmer to it. But what I did was, and I'm going to show you how to do this, I took some collage medium and I put the Distress Clear Rock Candy on there to make it look like snow. So these are two that I've sprayed. And this one I just did because I wanted to show you how you can also spray it and then give it an ombre effect. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but this is another, well, not another, it's a pink tree to go with my pink deer. But this is Cocktail Party, the mica stain Cocktail Party that I used on this. And then I'm going to show you how I got it to be a little bit of a lighter color so you get that ombre effect for a two-toned or three-toned or however many toned look. So I've got some sprays here. I've got Lucky Clover, Salvage Patina, Rustic Wilderness, Twisted Citron, Cracked Pistachio, and Bubbling Cauldron, which is a green mica that I think would look really nice on a tree. I think it might actually be the one that's on those ones that I was showing you. Now you could also use from the new, sorry, I've got looking for, what is it, balsam? Oh, of course I can't find it. Anyway, the new green from this year. I have it in my other supplies for another event, and then you could also use Merriman. So you can use the mica stains as well. This one I think will be really pretty. So what I do is I use my Splat Box. Here's my Splat Box. And you might want to wear rubber gloves. This is my hand from just spraying that one tree. So if it bothers you, you might want to wear rubber gloves. All right. So this is just the natural that doesn't have anything on the the bristles. And I just hold it by the base here. Hey Lois, hello. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat. Say hello as you're popping on. I love to see who's joining us. I'm giving this mica stain a little shake to get the mica rolled around there. All right, so all you're going to do is just give a couple of spritzes, as many as you want for however dark you want your tree, and make sure that you go underneath so you get the bottom. And then, I mean, really, it's that simple. So then you can set that aside to dry. I'm gonna wipe a little bit off my fingers here. Now, if you want to do this ombre effect, you need to do it fairly quickly. That's when it's the easiest. And all you do is take your tree. I have these little solo shot glasses, and this is just water. And I'm going to just dip, dip, dip. And you can see the stain is coming off because the water is turning green. But you can see that just takes off some of the color, and then you get that nice variegated ombre look on your color. Let me set that water aside. Set my tree aside. So it really is just that simple. Now, also, just the regular Distress spray, clearly it doesn't need to be shaken, but old habits die hard, right? So, same thing, just a couple of sprays, depending on how dark or light. Now, if suddenly you were like, oh, that's just a little bit darker than I wanted, same thing. You can dip the whole tree in, give it a little stir like you're stirring your shot, and you can have a lighter tree. Now, you know, maybe you want to have 3 options of color. So you can just, like I said, dip it in the water and get it as light or as dark as you want. Now, I'm going to caution you against using your heat tool on the sisal trees, because if you're not very careful, you will melt the bristles. The other thing to take note of is that when the spray from these products heats up, it smokes, and it has a smell, it has an odor. So if you're going to use your heat tool, make sure that you're doing it in a ventilated area, but don't freak out if it starts to smoke, because it does. But make sure that you keep your heat gun moving. No, Mary's asking, does the spray become permanent after a while? No, because all of the Distress products, except for the paint, stay water reactive even when they're dry. You would have to seal it, which you could do. They have spray sealers and things like that that you could do. But otherwise, it still will, the color will react to water. Now, after it dries, it doesn't react as quickly as it did when it was wet and I was dipping it in the water. So, just keep that in mind. All right, so you've got your tree. Got some green dripping all over, don't I? All right, you've got your trees that have been sprayed. Now, I also want to show you, and you can do this with the Dry Rock Candy glitter. I like to use, this is Collage Medium, and I like to use my palette knife. I like to use the Collage Medium because it's thicker and it dries matte. So you will get your sparkle from the glitter, and it won't be competing with the gloss of the adhesive. So, you know, this is really quite simple to do as well, and pretty quick. All I do is, and you don't have to use the big tub and use your palette knife. You can use a glue, you know, that's got a nozzle, and use your finger. And I mean, you know how I feel about my finger. I do use it a lot, but so you'll take some of the Collage Medium on your palette knife, and this tree is dry, clearly. If you do this when it's not dry, your glue will turn whatever color you've sprayed your tree. All right, because the medium, your paste or whatever you're using, will pick up the color. So you just, as thin or as thick as you want it, as chunky or not as you want it, as spread out as you want it, you know, in all the areas that you want it. It's totally up to you. I'm randomly doing this because, well, snow falls on trees randomly, right? So then I just take my glitter, pour it right on there. So I'll get it all around, and then I actually like to roll my tree around in the glitter and kind of smash it on a little bit so it stays. But like I said, you can do the same thing with mica flakes, or even add mica flakes on top of this so that it looks like they're icy. All right, so now this is what it looks like when the collage medium is still wet. And this one I did earlier, and it's almost dry, so you can still see the collage medium, but when it's totally dry, you won't be able to see the collage medium as much. You can kind of see that it's lightening up already between these two. So when it's completely dry, it'll just look like you've got some sparkly snow on there. All right. So that is how you can add some sparkle and some color to your trees to go along with all of your tiny houses that I know you're making for your, whoops, we don't want to pour that in the collage medium, that you're making for your Christmas villages, for your holiday decorations that you are getting ready to put up, right? Right after Thanksgiving, is everybody going to, if you haven't already started putting up your holiday decorations, it's coming up pretty soon. Thanksgiving is what, in 2 days? Can't even believe it. So that is that for our technique today. Does anybody have any questions? So Mary Ann's saying that her sister recommended using a toothbrush with the collage medium so that you can poke it in the tree, so you've got snow around. That's a really great idea. A toothbrush would get it around those bristles, wouldn't it? I like to use my finger too, because then what you can do is kind of squeeze your bristles a little bit and get some glue in there. You know, if you're doing like this when you're putting the collage medium on, you'll get some glue in there too. The tricky part is when you're pouring the glitter on, so you really have to take your time, and it's kind of like putting the tinsel on the tree, right? One strand at a time. You'll have to be careful about where, you know, getting your glitter inside too, but that would make the tree very pretty. Great idea. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mary Ann. Anybody else have any questions before we wrap this up today? And I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. Is everybody working on their holiday decor? Or are you getting ready to get your turkey cooked? Who's got their turkey thawing in the refrigerator? Supposed to have done that, started that like on Friday of last week. All right, I don't see any questions, so I will say thank you so much for joining us. We do have a lot of the new color Distress Spray Stain in the store. I believe we have some of the newest, and the Halloween probably, mica stain bundles in the store as well. And I know for sure that we have some of the woodland trees. I like the ones that Ideology does because they don't already have the flocking on them. But I will say that if you did have the bottle brush trees that had that on there, you still could do this technique with them as well. All right, everybody. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget about our event coming up on December 3rd, last minute Christmas card making. All of the information is on the website. We've been peeking the cards on the Facebook page. We have also shown all of the cards in Saturday's Scrappy Chat, so if you want to take a peek at what those are, you can take a look at them. We still have seats available. It's going to be a super fun event. I am really looking forward to it. We're going to have the crop room very festive, and there will be a lot of holiday frivolity happening. I'm using my big words today. So thanks, everybody. And if we don't see you in the store tomorrow, have a super great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family. We are certainly grateful for all of you. Thanks.